Hey, what's up guys? I got another quick little research review for you guys. This is a cool paper I came across, and special shout out to my man Seth Oberst. I think you like this paper. But the title of the paper is Stress Signaling Pathways that Impair Prefrontal Cortex Structure and Function. So I'm not going to go into super duper detail about the paper, but the image kind of says it all. So if you come over here and check it out, this is the front part of the brain. And with the front part of the brain, one of the jobs of it is to shut down amygdala activity. Now what that means is the amygdala is responsible for different types of emotion, and a lot of times we'll see it very active in stress and fear. So the front part of the brain is supposed to shut down the amygdala. What happens though is if we increase our stress response or increase our fear response, the amygdala starts to get a little wild. And what the amygdala does is it basically tells the frontal lobe to go on vacation. And so what happens is, the paper goes into this in a little more detail, but a vicious cycle starts to happen where the front part of the brain can't work because the amygdala is working too much, and then you've got this dysregulation of emotion and stress. So what we like to do in functional neurology is say, hey, what's causing the stress response? Let's try to eliminate it, but let's also try to increase activity of the front part of the brain. So we can do this a number of different ways. One of my favorite ways to do it is to get them to smell. Especially because the amygdala is associated with emotion, and it's found inside of the temporal lobes. So we like to use the smells to increase a positive emotion response, and also people tend to like it because it helps decrease some stress. So if we go to this next paper, this is a pretty cool little short paper, but the title of it is Effects of Olfactory Stimulation with Rose and Orange Oil on the Prefrontal Cortex Activity. So you can use all different types of oil. This one specifically just looked at rose and orange oil, but the patients that participated in the study, they felt more comfortable and relaxed and had a more natural feeling when they used the essential oils. So again, when we're sniffing an oil, we're going to sniff and it's going to go right into our frontal lobes, and that may increase activity and shut down the stress response. This next paper was really cool. This is from 2001. Lateralization of brain activation to imagination and smell of odor. So not just smell, but also the imagination of smell. Using functional magnetic resonance imaging, fMRI, they found that left hemispheric localization was dominant when people were smelling pleasant smells, and then unpleasant in the right hemisphere. So basically what that means is if you stuck a pleasant smell under the left nostril and had the patient smell, it would fire up the left part of the cortex, and typically a pleasant smell would be a little bit more associated with that. And then the right side, right nostril open, left closed, smell an unpleasant smell. I'll let you decide what unpleasant smells you want to use in your office. That'll activate the right part of the brain. So from functional neurology, what we like to do is say, again, hey, how can we remove the stressors, but also what can we do to increase activity of the frontal lobe? And then we can get a little bit more specific and say which smell is going to affect which side of the brain and increase that activity. Because even though sometimes we see that there's decreased activation in the front part of the brain, sometimes the right is a little less active than the left, and sometimes the left is a little bit more active than the right. So smells are a great way to use it, or to do it, and we use doTERRA. They have a bunch of different really good smelly blends. I like them for a bunch of different things. You can put them on your skin, use them as aromatherapy, but the patients love it too. So just a little fun fact to go along with some of the research out there. Thanks so much.